Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Benanin, and for today's video I wanted to talk about some mineral sunscreen that I've tried recently and let you know what I think. So I posted a video a few months ago going over me testing all of your favorite sunscreens, and a majority of those were chemical sunscreens. So for today's video we'll be focusing strictly on mineral sunscreens. Before we jump in, I just wanted to talk about the difference between a mineral sunscreen and a chemical sunscreen. Chemical sunscreens contain organic compounds such as oxybenzone, oxynotate, and avobenzone. So stuff like that. Chemical sunscreens are absorbers of UV rays. And then mineral sunscreens, on the other hand, also called physical sunscreens, their active ingredients are titanium dioxide or zinc. So these active ingredients work by sitting on your skin and they help to deflect the UV rays. So they're not absorbing it, but they're deflecting / reflecting it. I feel like a lot of people lean towards physical sunscreens because they're less likely to cause stinging or irritation, especially if you have sensitive skin. And if you have acne-prone skin, they're a little bit better at not clogging your pores, and they're easier to wash off like at the end of the night. As far as my skin type, I have very acne-prone sensitive skin. As you can see, I'm dealing with a breakout here, and when I get pimples, they last and they're really hard to get rid of. So I have very acne-prone skin, and I also have pretty oily skin, but it is winter where I am and it's very cold, so the air is dry, so my skin is leaning more towards the normal / combo skin instead of the super oily side, which is my normal. So now that you know a little bit about sunscreens, you know a little bit about what I am dealing with as far as my skin, I want to jump right into these sunscreens that I tried. So the first one is the Replenix Sheer Physical Sunscreen SPF 50+, and its active ingredient is zinc oxide, and there's 12% of that. This sunscreen claims to be water resistant, lightweight, non-greasy, and it's supposed to leave like a silky smooth finish. The method that you're supposed to apply it, even though it is a spray sunscreen, you're supposed to spray it onto your hands, a generous amount, and then rub that into your face. You're not supposed to spray it directly to your face. So as far as my thoughts on this sunscreen, I was pleasantly surprised because I've had really bad experiences with mineral sunscreens, so honestly I wasn't expecting much. So when I put it on, I made sure to put like 5 pumps, and then it says to let it dry and then put your second layer on. So I did that, and I let it sit for a little bit, and it went completely sheer. It wasn't greasy, there was no white cast, and then when I was reapplying it, it also reapplied really well. I didn't have any issues with like pilling or feeling like it was building up or anything like that, but I just want to know that people did have issues with that in the reviews. I don't think that it caused any extra breakouts for me, and also I didn't feel any irritation with it. My only con for this sunscreen is I feel like it would work better during the summer months when I'm a lot more oily and sweaty, because in the winter, like I said, skin isn't dry, but it's not as oily, and I felt a little bit of dryness with this sunscreen, kind of like here, which is where I usually get dry. But when I tried it again the next day, I just made sure to, you know, adequately moisturize my skin before putting the sunscreen on, and I didn't have any issues with that. So I would recommend this to people who have really oily skin or even normal skin, but if you have dry skin, you may have some issues with it feeling a little drier, but I think as long as you moisturize properly underneath, like I said, then you should be able to get away with using it in the winter or in the drier months with your dry skin. The next one that I tried was the Biossance Squalene and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen, and this one is an SPF 30. It claims to be a very powerful, invisible, non-toxic, moisturizing, and it also says white cast guaranteed. Basically, you put it on like a regular sunscreen. I follow the 2-finger method when I'm putting on like any cream-based sunscreens, you know, that are not sprays. So I filled up 2 fingers worth of sunscreen. Well, the first day I put it on little layers. The second day I just put the whole thing on just to see how it would feel and how it would sit. I think it works better if you apply this one in smaller layers instead of just putting it all on at once. So I did that, and then the instructions say to wait 15 minutes again before sun exposure. My thoughts on this one. As you guys can see from the clip, when I put it on, It had a very like bluish, whitish tint to it. And I was like, okay, let me just wait the 15 minutes. Maybe it'll settle in. It didn't settle in. And then I waited an hour to see if it'll settle in again. It didn't settle in. By the 2-hour mark, it still had a white cast, but I still went ahead and reapplied it just to see how it would sit and how it would feel. I didn't have any pilling again with this one, and it didn't feel cakey or anything, but like I said, there was still a white cast. It's kind of a bummer because I've seen mixed reviews on this sunscreen. I'm starting to think that the sheerness depends on the amount of sunscreen that you're putting on. So some people, I'm not gonna call any names out, but some people were only putting like a very small amount. So obviously it's gonna blend in nicely on people with darker complexions. But if you're like me and you go heavy on the sunscreen, it's gonna leave you with white cast. If you have oily skin like myself, I would definitely recommend skipping your moisturizer and just using this as a replacement. It's not that it's heavy or sticky or thick or anything. It's just very moisturizing, and you don't really need extra moisture underneath if you have already oily to normal skin. So the next sunscreen that I tried was the Peter Thomas Roth Instant Mineral Broad Spectrum SPF 45 sunscreen. This one claims to be a matte mineral powder that you're able to use on the go. And then it says it's broad spectrum SPF 45 from UVA, UVB, sun protection. And I was drawn to this one because it just seemed convenient. This is a powder that you put on and you're able to wear it if you don't wear makeup, and also it's a nice way to reapply sunscreen if you do wear makeup. They also claim that this brush formula is supposed to be translucent and mattifying. So as far as how to open this, because I was confused, all you do for it to work is you shake the container a little bit to get some of the powder out, and then you apply it to your skin, and then when you're done, you're supposed to pull the bottom kind of down to be able to put the cap on. So I'll just insert a clip of me doing it instead of trying to explain it to you. But so with this powder, it can get a little bit messy just because it is a powder, but I didn't really have that big of a mess with it. As long as you're not like shaking it excessively, then it works fine. My experience with this powder, like I said, it's supposed to be translucent, but on my skin, I thought that it was a little grayish. It just went on like I was putting on like a white powder that didn't completely ever blend into my skin. I really thought that I would like this, but I just didn't end up liking it. I don't think I will use it. But if you have lighter skin tones, this would be like the perfect way to reapply sunscreen when you have makeup on. And it did work as far as mattifying my skin. I think it really helped to like touch up on my oily spots throughout the day, so that's a pro. But I personally just didn't like how it looked on my skin. The next one is the Verse Sunscreen Guard Up Daily Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35. So this one claims to be lightweight, and it provides you with 3-way protection. It says that it's going to protect you from environmental pollution, electronic pollution, so like I'm guessing blue light from like your screen, and also from the sun. And it says that it has a natural finish, not too dewy, not too matte, and it doesn't leave a white or gray cast. To apply this one, again, I just used a 2-finger method and gently applied it to my skin. So for this one, I'm not going to be able to give you a full review, unfortunately, because I ended up having a reaction to it, which is a bummer. But I wore it for about 2 hours, and then all of a sudden I started to feel itchy and burning on my skin, and basically this is my reaction to it. Hi guys, just wanted to give you an update. I've been sitting by my window and it's pretty sunny outside, and I was sitting there for like 2 hours editing a video, and my skin just started to like burn almost. It's not like an extreme burn, but it just feels irritated. I don't really have that issue, I guess, with sunscreen, so I started to think like if I changed anything, but my skincare routine was exactly the same that it's been for like the last week, so I don't think that I added anything that would have irritated my skin. The only change that I did was testing out this sunscreen. It just feels warm. It's like itchy by my ears. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna give up on this review because my skin is already sensitive. As soon as I feel like my skin's reacting to something, I like to wash it off right away and I'm done. Nobody got time to have reactions from sunscreens or face washes or whatever. So just wanted to come here and update you guys and let you know that I'm about to wash this sunscreen off. It's been about 2 hours. I'm feeling warm, I'm feeling itchy, and I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to give a full review of this Verse sunscreen just because I don't want to reapply it to my face again and have it be itchy again. So I'm going to wash this off quick because it's very uncomfortable. And I guess we'll just try again with a different sunscreen. Yeah, I need to wash this off. So yeah, I just washed it off right away and I didn't even bother to retry it. I mean, there could be a chance that it wasn't that sunscreen and maybe it was something else, but I personally have gone through a lot with my skin in the past and I just don't want to completely destroy it from a sunscreen. So I didn't try it again, sorry. Let me know if any of you guys have tried the sunscreen, if you had a reaction to it or not. But yeah, that's it for all the sunscreens that I've tried. I guess from this line of them, the only one that I would really recommend and like stand by is the Replenix Sheer Physical Sunscreen. I really enjoy that one. I'm still using that one. So all my girls out there with darker complexions that have oily skin, please comment down below your recommendations for mineral sunscreens that you love, and I would love to try those out for you because there's no way that there's only one sunscreen that works for our skin type. There's gotta be more out there. So thank you for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.